Chris Jenkins, credential member of the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, a.k.a. Man of the People, here for your Let's Talk About It show. As you know, this show is every day after a game. This week we had a Monday night game, so we're here on a Tuesday. And for the rest of the season, it will be a Monday because all the rest of our games are Sunday. So here's the format. Here's what you expect for this show tonight. I have a little bit of content that I'm going to share with you. Make sure that you guys are up to date with everything. But the biggest thing of this show is I want you guys to call in. All right? Get used to calling in, whether you want to call in on your cell phone, your laptop, whatever it is. This is a call-in show. Think about radio. This is video radio. All right? So call in, let me know, vent, question, whatever it is. Me being your therapist, because maybe this team has just got you going crazy. Do so. I'm going to also take a second to post it in the into the comments as well, so you guys can join us live. So let me do this right now. Get this going. So I'm going to put this link in the description, and then I'm going to pin this link into the comments so that anybody out there can easily reference that to call in. And we'll get going here. Just a second. And there we go. We have pinned that message into the comments so that you guys can click on that link. I know we had some new callers last week. I love our existing callers. I like to grow, so I also like our new callers. So hopefully the new callers will continue to call in, and we have some more. I'm all kinds of distracted tonight, right? We have some more people that will call in as well. And I feel like I'm not as lit up as I would like to be. But nevertheless. All right. Let me get everything in front of me. All right, so a few things that I want to get out there before we get into the show. Carolina Panthers, as you know, lost last night to the San Francisco 49ers. A golden opportunity. Do you get that? Does anybody get that? A golden opportunity. Let me know in the comments if you get that. Was missed last night by the Carolina Panthers. And we are now in sole possession of second place instead of sole possession of first place. And we continue our tough schedule. I think I saw somewhere we had like the third toughest schedule. We now play the Los Angeles Rams this Sunday here in Charlotte at Bank of America Stadium, where we hope to get back on track. So we'll see if that happens or not. A few news pieces that I want to share with you guys. Now I'll say this for if we get some dead time in here. Thomas, I'm going to bring you on in just a split second as I get my bearings on everything. All right. So we're going to show you guys how it's done right here. This is my good friend, always first in line. I like it. This is Thomas. Now he's going to show you guys how easy it is to just come on the show, rant, ask a question, whatever you want to do. Let me get my clock ready. Because, you know, I got to do my clock, give you guys about 2 minutes-ish. And Thomas hasn't started the clock yet, but how was your day?
You know, it's not bad. I mean, you know, been on Thanksgiving break this week. You know, just prepared for the cold. It's supposed to get cold tomorrow. So, you know, typical Midwest Ohio weather. Supposed to 50-mile-an-hour winds tomorrow. Wind chills in the teens. After being 55 today.
You know, I thought about today, like, you know, I think it's warm enough where I can put up my Christmas lights and not freeze. I was like, it's always good to do it before it's a cold day, right? And I didn't do it. And I checked the weather, and it's not going to be like Ohio cold, but it's going to be basically 50s for the next week. And I'm like, today it hit 70. So I'm like, back to freezing, put up the Christmas lights. Dang it.
I'd take 50s over the 30s that we're supposed to have this upcoming week. We're supposed to get maybe a couple inches of snow this weekend.
Oh, boy. All right, you're on the clock. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. What you got?
So last night's game, I stayed up and watched 99% of it. You know what? At least they tried. Um, the defense played lights out. They really were trying, but eventually the defense can only do so much. I mean, when the offense can't get anything together, and I saw like basically your title, was it Young, is it Canales? In my opinion, it's a mix of the two because for some reason, run the dang ball. I don't get it because I saw that cryptic tweet by Rico about like the weird surprise emoji, or he couldn't believe emoji or whatever. And it's just like he had what, 9, 10 touches for 40, 50 some yards.
So there was
And
9 total between Chuba and Rico. I think Rico had 6.
yeah, I don't get it. And it's not like, yeah, if we played the Atlanta Falcons every week, sure, we'd probably have 14, 15 wins, but that ain't going to happen. I just don't understand. It's like I understand Canales is still trying to grow as this play caller / coach, but I'm a firm believer you got to pick one. Yeah, I don't like when you're stretching yourself too thin. So he's got to pick one, but I also think a lot of the offensive pieces, I feel like they weren't doing a whole lot. You know, Tedero had some drop passes, and it just seemed just one of those to where it's just like, you know what? Like I said last week, anything above 5 wins is a bonus. So they're at 6. So if they got, I honestly think they can squeak out one more.
We
It's going
got
to
to
be tough.
definitely get one more. We played New Orleans. That should be the one for sure.
Well, it's going to be tough. I mean, look what New Orleans did. I mean, I don't know, 7 wins, maybe 8, but that's another thing is you don't know about the Baker injury. Is that going to keep them out because they're getting all their pieces back?
Yeah,
So,
Baker's injury seems pretty. Uh, it was on his non-throwing shoulder, and his
yeah.
MRI revealed like it was nothing long-term damaging. So
Mhm.
Baker
And the
could
thing
Baker could
is,
be out there rocking this weekend, maybe.
but I view it this way before my time's up. This was a transitional year. As long as there was growth, it's a successful season. I
Hold
mean,
on one second.
if
Hold on one second for me, Thomas. This is a technical problem, not you. I got 2 things going on in my ear, so I can't hear you, and I'm trying to figure out how to stop it. All right, I'm sorry. Continue. Thank you.
yep, I just it's one of those where next year it will be the make or break year. It will be year 3 under Canales with Young. So it's one of those where if they make the playoffs or should be competitive, that's next year. This year was that transitional year, and if they made the playoffs, great. But as a fan base, to where we're so disappointed every year, we just want to hear playoffs. But and the realization is, as being an optimist / realist, as I am, you can't just jump as young as you are. They're still growing, and I hate to say it, they are still trying to rebuild from that mess that was Fitter and trying to clean up all of that dead cap. So this is just added, it's just house money at this point if they win more.
Hey Thomas, I always appreciate you being first in line. Good to talk to you, man. Don't get too cold up there, all right?
Thanks. You have a nice Thanksgiving, Chris.
I expect to see you back next Monday.
Yes, sir.
All right, hey, happy Thanksgiving to you as well.
Thank you. Bye bye.
So that's my guy Thomas, always being first, always giving us some good start here. I need to come up with an award for like who calls in first the most, because Thomas would get it this year for sure. Lucas, I see you waiting. Let me give a few comments based on what Thomas said. Um, he talked about the running, and yeah, so I wanted to show this. I didn't finish getting it together before I came online, but I think I can probably. It's not that big, so it's going to be a little difficult to see here. But here's, I wonder if I can zoom in. But here's what he's talking about. Rico Dowdle today, 10:57 a.m., tweets out this grimacing looking emoji. And with Rico doing that, his little grimacing face emoji has 1.6 million views. That is tremendous. 1.6 6 million views. Um, Coach Canales was asked about that today, saying, "Hey, your guy put this out there. Are you going to talk to him? Have you talked to him about it?" He said, "Nope." "Are you going to talk to him about it?" He said, "Nope." And you know, you get it to a standpoint as a coach. Like every guy is not going to be happy after every game, and you can't go and you're not going to go and baby them. You expect guys to not be happy with some things, right? So I think, but it's definitely interesting to see that he did that. All right, I got my man Lucas patiently waiting. So, Lucas, I'm going to bring you on the screen. Let me see. I think, Lucas, you would qualify as a first time caller.
No, I've called in before. What's up, Chris?
Oh man, let's see when you start talking. I hear the accent. I'm like, okay, that does sound familiar. I like the blue light setup. Are we in the garage?
We're in the man cave. This is every Sunday, and unfortunately, last night I was
Last.
here. Um, so wanted to talk a little bit about our boy Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
Still love him. Still love him. Unfortunately, um, I want to curious what you want. I'm curious what you think about this. So I was watching Christian ball out like he always does. Um, and I was watching him, had a little nostalgic feeling when I was watching it last night. And I was like, is this 2019? But what if we were patient with Sam Darnold and Christian McCaffrey? Would the Carolina Panthers, if we were patient with them, would we have became a great team? Would we have became a playoff contender every year? I'm just curious what you would think. Because Sam Darnold is awesome in Seattle now. He was awesome in Minnesota last year, and Christian McCaffrey, he was a star here, and he's obviously a star in San Francisco.
So the challenge with that would have been, like you said, it wasn't run out of patience with Christian McCaffrey. It was the fact that we were terrible and we needed a way to get some assets. So he was a way to do that. And with Sam Darnold, I really think that was like a coaching staff was changing, and do we want this guy? He kind of did bad. Well, let's just scrap him because he hadn't been that good yet. So I don't think we could rewrite history in that
Yeah,
fashion because of like what was going on. Like I can't see any way that could have possibly gone differently. That somebody would have been in love with Sam Darnold, saying I could make him great, right? But he certainly has excelled since he has left. So yeah, I kind of feel like we just internally as an
just missed
organization,
it.
just wasn't there.
I understand. I also think we need a new offensive coordinator. I feel like Dave does not need to be calling the calls anymore. We definitely need an OC.
So on that case, because that was the topic, right? Is it Dave? Is it Bryce? And I do feel like this game was a tandem. It was a combo job of Dave and Bryce because it's still. I'm trying to think how much I want to criticize Dave. Like, was he a 10 at fault, or was he still a year and a half young coach, first time ever at fault, and he's just going to continue to grow, right? But you do kind of think that it could be accelerated if he just picked one role and did that instead of having to learn head coach and coordinator role.
He's
So
got a lot on his plate.
he does, and he's now seeming to have more on his plate of dealing with the locker room, right? Because it was it last week or 2 weeks ago that they got blown out and players were talking about like, we didn't really have the kind of practice we needed. Yeah, that was last week, right? And so you kind of look at that. That's like, oh, okay. Well, you don't hear that too much. It doesn't seem like it got out of control, but you heard Icky say it, you heard Nick Scorton say it, and I think it was one other player that commented
I
on it.
love me
Yeah,
some Nick Swarton.
yeah. He's a cool dude. And then this week you got Rico with the unhappy grimace face after a game. That you kind of think, well, maybe you do need to get all hands on deck into one place or the other. But then that means Brad would be calling it. Brad's even
I
younger.
don't like Brad.
You don't like Brad.
I don't. I don't think he knows what he. I know. I hate to criticize NFL coaches, but I just don't think he knows what he's doing. I feel like he's just. wasting space.
He's just excited to have a job, huh?
Exactly. Excited to have an NFL job.
Isn't this cool? I'm young and I'm a coordinator. This is yeah, yeah. So you would want Dave. So what with what we currently have, Lucas, would you want Dave to just be the head coach and then Brad call the plays?
I would. I guess I like my OC to be calling the plays. I know, I feel like the OC should be calling the plays up there in the up high up in the press box. And I feel like the head coach, he already has enough on his plate being down there on the field, keeping the team motivated. I just feel like he already has enough on his plate. He don't need to be calling the plays. And he clearly, I don't think he's doing a good. I love Dave. I think he's the best coach we've had since Ron Rivera. But I don't think he's a good play caller so far.
So how could we play out the rest of the season? Do we
I feel
just
like
have to leave? Go ahead.
we do what already doing because I mean hell we've already won 6 games, which is more than last year. So keep doing what we're doing, and then this off season look for us a good OC. I'm a big fan. Correct me if I'm wrong if I pronounce his last name wrong. Eric Bieniemy, the running back coach in Chicago. He was the OC in Kansas City. I'm a huge fan of him. I feel like he would be awesome to bring down here. I don't know if he would come down here, but would love to have him. Just would love to have just a good play caller.
Okay. Hey, we're at that time. And do you have any other closing remarks that you want to throw at me before you get out?
Nothing but I love your show, Chris. Keep pounding.
Hey, thank you so much, Lucas. Good to see you again. All right. So, yeah, I felt like I was about to have a whole conversation with Lucas about that part of it being the play calling of head coach Dave Canales and how do we fix it. And again, like I said, it's a little bit grace should be given to Dave because he's not like an experienced 20-year head coach, right? This is his very first head coaching job, and he's a year and a half into it. So there's still going to be some growing pains that he has. And I think this is one of them with the play calling. But what I have appreciated about Dave is his ability to learn from his mistakes. I don't see him making like the same mistake for 6 months, for 6 weeks, doing the same thing over and over. So I feel like he will make the proper decision about should I continue to call the plays or should I spend this offseason really getting a marriage with Brad Idzik, the offensive coordinator, to let him know what I like, the style that I want, or what I want to see overall, and then let him call the plays, have trust in him that we spent all this time in the offseason, educate him on what I really like to do. Because if he tells me exactly what to do, then that's not going to be a benefit because now you're trying to be a puppet, right? But just really let him understand what you want to get out of the offense, and then let it rock from there. So good stuff. So we're going to get into some of the comments here that are coming. And then I got a few things that I want to share with you guys as well. So current standings, again, I already went over that. We're in second place. I also like to share with you guys these pass charts, right? And I think I can get it right this time. Give me just a second. Let's see if I can do this the way I want to do it. Hold on, I'm trying to get this right. So I think I got it. All right. I hate that it's cut off like that. So this is Bryce Young's pass chart. This is against the Saints. It's not the one I wanted. Give me a second to get exactly what I want up here. We'll just go old school and do this. I'm gonna go to week 11. No, we'll do this. We'll go to, yeah, we'll go back to that same one I had. So we're gonna look at two different pass charts. So this is Bryce Young's pass chart against the New Orleans Saints. He was 17 out of 25. And I chose to skip over the Falcons because that was a game that was just extraordinary. So the Saints was a game that we lost, 7-17, and this was Bryce Young's pass chart. And typically, and I want to say this: these pass charts do not tell the full story, but they sometimes paint a picture to give you an idea. Sometimes I'll criticize Bryce, like, man, all these passes behind the line of scrimmage and short pass, or at least try to throw the ball deep in this game. So let's look at that in this respect right here. He had 2 deep passes, 3 total deep, more than 20. He had 3 behind the line of scrimmage, 17 of 25, had 1 interception, 124 yards. So for me, it's like there's this really small margin with Bryce where you say the interceptions are really what will kill him at bad times. But there you have that, right? And now let's go ahead and look at the pass chart from yesterday versus the San Francisco 49ers. And I want to see what you guys think about this. Here's the San Francisco 49ers chart. Now in this game, he threw many more behind the line of scrimmage. 2, 4, 6, 7. And then he threw, looked like just 1 pass deep over 20 yards, or 2. 1 was a touchdown to Tedoroa, and then 1 was an incompletion. And he threw for 169 yards. And then there was 2 interceptions. One of those interceptions we could all say was not really his fault because T-Mac got held as he was coming out of his break, doing his going in. And so you look at this chart here, and you go, I don't know. It's, for me, I'm still for overall Bryce Young, just feeling like I just want some competition of him, right? Because I feel like when you're trying to figure out so much each week, like what was it with this guy that was just a little off, that just didn't give you what you need, that you kind of like what he was doing at some points, but then you kind of don't like what he's doing at another point. And then you're trying to figure out what is causing those situations to be different. That it's just like, you probably need to get something better. And so I'm not saying that means get rid of Bryce, but it just means that we need to continue to evaluate the best things. So let's look at all the charts. So that was the route chart. The pass chart. Here's the carry chart. And this is what Thomas alluded to earlier. These guys, Chuba and Rico, were doing a very solid job yesterday of running the ball. I think Rico was averaging over 6 yards a carry. And we only got 6 carries. Yeah, this is over 6 yards a carry. Only got 6. That's, why did you go away from that? And then let's go ahead and look at the route chart for Tedoroa McMillan. 7 targets, only 2 catches. Not a lot. Not a lot. So, yeah. And then I got one more thing I'm going to give you guys, and we'll go ahead and get into your comments. We had 2 transactions today for the Carolina Panthers. Want to make sure I get that information out to you guys, and then we're going to go back into the comments. And again, if anybody wants to call in, let's get 3 call-ins. What am I doing? Let's get 3 call-ins tonight, right? I need one more caller to call in. Transactions for today. Carolina Panthers had 2 transactions. They signed linebacker Isaiah Simmons to the practice squad, and we released safety Trevian Thomas. So again, we released safety Trevian Thomas, and then we added Isaiah Simmons, former Clemson player, and he is now on our squad. So those were the transactions today. We also had one last update, and then we'll get into your questions. We also had a former Carolina Panther continue to progress into that Hall of Fame discussion. And let me just make sure I get this for you guys. Yeah, so in terms of the Hall of Fame, we got 2 Carolina Panther players who are making some progress towards getting their gold jacket. That would be one Luke Kuechly, who is going to be an automatic finalist because he made the top 7 last year, but he's continued to make it through the total of 26 candidates. And Steve Smith. Those are your 2 current Carolina Panthers that are down to the last 26. And then in injury news today, we did get some bad news. And that is cornerback Corey Thornton. Cornerback Corey Thornton, who was carted off the field last night, is unfortunately going to be out for the season. So that was a significant injury from last night, and we'll continue to get more injury updates tomorrow. And Trevin Moreg is going to, not surprisingly, appeal his suspension. And so tomorrow morning, they'll get the update on that as to whether or not that was upheld or reversed for Trevon with his punch. And I think the player, I know former Panther, guys, he plays for the Commanders. He had gotten suspended because of the number of times he had violated like penalties, and he was appealed it. So I don't know if there's a precedent for what may happen with that. All right, let's go ahead and rock into these comments. I was at work during this game. I would have been cussing at my TV if I had watched this disaster. So, the play for me that I would have been cursing at the screen, it was that fumble. Christian McCaffrey does not fumble the ball. It was the fumble that we had after we had several interceptions that we could not take advantage of. And not one, but 2 Carolina Panther players, without a San Francisco 49er player anywhere near him, could not recover that fumble. And it ended up being recovered back by the San Francisco 49ers. That play is the one that I would have broke my TV over. But, hey, Donald R. Smith, I'm sorry, I can't even put this name together, but appreciate your comment. What's up, Panthers? Boy, this is our member, so appreciate our members for supporting and being a member. We got another member here. Appreciate you, Tyrone. So much. And again, that link's pinned in the description if anybody wants to, pinned in the comment, and it's also in the description if anybody wants to join the show. Come on, and like I said, there's no agenda for me on this show tonight, just to talk to you guys, interact, see what the vibe is of Panther Nation out there. Loud Pack says, I miss CMC and Sam Darnold, so you feel like, I think my man was Lewis that was on here early tonight, missing those 2. I mean, you can miss everybody when we're not doing good, right? To answer the title question, I think it's partially coaching. Look at how they got flow going in the second half when they sped up the play calling. Appreciate your precious details. So that is why I continue to have the confidence in Dave Canales that I do. Talking about his team, talking about things that happen, is I do feel like he's a coach that learns from his mistakes. We're not going to learn immediately that we need to change something, but he is a coach that, to me, continues to show that he's going to make some changes as he needs to. He knows things are bad when they're bad. He knows he needs to make decisions that are the best for the team and maybe not something that's going to be so celebrated by a player. He said that when he was talking about the going to just Rico and not Chuba. So, and to me, he was transparent today. It's kind of funny to me sometimes. We want coaches to be transparent and tell you what they're thinking, and then when they tell you what they're thinking, you're like, oh, he's dumb. I mean, like, for real, we all make decisions for reasons that we can look back and say, well, that was dumb. But the thing is, you want to see, does he make the change? And so that was about his run attack, or lack thereof, yesterday. And saying today, it might have been yesterday, but I know he said recently, whether it's last night or this morning, that what happened in Atlanta, he felt like that was pretty good, and that he was, going off that approach for this game versus the 49ers, and it didn't work. And you do see a difference in that second half in terms of the things picked up for the Carolina Panthers. They didn't have enough, right? This team does not have enough firepower to really just come storming back. Sometimes they're playing an opponent that is not good enough, and they're able to do that. But they were playing the 49ers, which doesn't have an outstanding defense. But what they knew what to do, which was keep the ball. We don't need to score in 2 minutes. Score in 5 minutes. Score in 7 minutes. Eat up the clock so that they don't have the opportunity to come back on us. But you did see a different second half from the Carolina Panthers, and it just wasn't enough. Appreciate your precious details. Can't forget the young wide receiver core. Young team makes mistakes. Easy to blame a QB, but this is a developing team. So with that, you could go say, hey, why did Xavier Leggett not get a catch until the second half? Tetherall McMillan, he dropped a pass or two. All right. So, yeah, those are the things that continue to make it a challenge for Bryce. And, hey, we do have 6 wins. We're still square in the playoff hunt. So, there's still opportunity to continue to make some progress for this Carolina Panthers team. But, yeah, you can't forget that this is a young core, right? Tetherall is a rookie. Jalen Coker, second-year guy. Xavier Leggett, second-year guy. Jimmy Horn Jr., first-year guy. Jatavian Sanders, second-year guy. Mitchell Evans, first-year guy. So it is indeed a lot of youth that's on this team. And got to be mindful of that as well. So you're right, Mikey. Appreciate you. Be kind to Dave. How about it? Yeah, be kind to Dave. Why not? Why not? And my wish has been granted right after I take out my earpiece, but that's all right. I'll put it back in. We got caller number 3 for the night, which I like, which I appreciate. Going to bring you on here in just a second. See if I can get to one more comment. Run and defense are still good. Yeah, the run is still. Well, unfortunately, we have not seen the run in some time now. It's basically been 3 weeks, right? We had the Saints shut us down. We had the 49ers where we just did not run the ball. And then what was the other game? We had one more poor performing game. I think it was Atlanta, Saints. And then we just decided not to even try to run the ball against the 49ers. Like, that was really weird. All right, so this show is called Let's Talk About It. Each and every day after the game, we do this show. And I love to meet you guys and interact. So this person right here, Chance.
What's going on?
How you doing, sir?
I'm good. Just a couple comments. Dog's in my way. Um, I'm just curious how we go from how we played so good against Atlanta and how we went in the San Francisco. It was a little frustrating. I was hoping Bryce was gonna show up like he did in Atlanta. He loves Atlanta for some reason. I don't know why, but he loves it in Atlanta. Why can't he play like that? Why can't he think Atlanta's everywhere else? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that would be great.
I mean, so, but yeah, I just want to call or just talk real quick about that and just like I hope Isaiah Simmons gives us a little more linebacker help, but I thought our linebackers played pretty good last night compared to what I was nervous, losing both our linebackers, and playing like a good tight end and Jordan Kittle. I know he still had his yards, but we kept him out of the end zone and we guarded that middle pretty good. Those guys played pretty good. Barnes and that other rookie, number 57, he played pretty good too. So I was pretty impressed by our young players. Once I heard that J.C. Horn got hurt and he was concussed, I'm like, oh great. Who do we have for our secondary other than Mike Jackson? But those guys played pretty good. Thornton played pretty good until he got hurt, and so did Wade. I thought they stepped up pretty good for us. So, but yeah, I don't know. It's frustrating. I don't see us. I don't know how many more wins we're gonna get. It's I don't know how you say I thought we were gonna get a couple more wins, but if you look at that schedule, what we have left, I hope we get the Saints back. I want to get the Saints back because we're better than that. We got to get the Saints.
Let me show you something.
And if
You should be able to see
Go
this on the
ahead.
screen here. I know it's a little crazy the way it's overlapping us both here. But this is the pass chart of George Kittle. Can you see that?
Yeah,
So in terms of you were talking about our linebackers. Like stuff over the middle wasn't like heavy. I think the defense overall did very good. Like you see here, most of his
Oh, I know they
routes
did.
was on the left hand side, and he ran across the middle on one and caught a ball. But for the most part, it was kind of like short outside stuff.
Yeah, yeah, and I know, and it's like I thought our young players played really good last night. I really thought those, like I said, those linebackers really stepped up till Shirless until he got hurt. And then like they 57 stepped up and Barnes stepped up. So I mean, I was kind of impressed by that, but I want to get the Saints back. We got to get Saints back, and if we can just play with Tampa Bay a little bit, that'd be fun. But I'm nervous about this weekend. This weekend's not going to be good. Those Rams look very good, man.
I feel like we can win two more games. Who are those two going to be? I don't know. So let's say Saints
We
for
got to get
sure
the
one,
Saints.
right?
We got to get the Saints back.
Could you
We
possibly?
always play Seattle pretty tough.
Yeah, yeah. But don't you feel like it's like a two and I'm not a better. I don't know exactly how this works. Like if you say 2.5, but like I feel like it's like a push for a 2.5 on this team because you're gonna beat the Saints. Then to me, you should beat one or the other of Tampa when you play them back to back like that. And then you're gonna get lucky perhaps against the Seahawks or the Rams. So because here's the one thing, and tell me what you think about this, Chance. Outside of the very start of the season, when we lost those first two games in a row on the road, that was a heck of a start, right? To have to start your season off with so many young players on this team, and you're on the road back to back to back. We haven't. Though it's been frustrating. We haven't been on a losing streak this entire season. So for that, I feel like there's some confidence to have as you look at this last part. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. Like I said, we got some big games coming up. Like I said, the Rams game kind of scares me. It'd be cool if we just. I mean, that's almost no offense. That's kind of almost our Super Bowl this year. I mean, that's a Super Bowl quality team there. So if we can run with them guys, that'd be a good confidence booster for the next coming up. So, but
Anything else before you get out of here, boss?
no, not much, man. Just want to wish you a happy Turkey Day, happy Thanksgiving, and
Thank you so much,
keep
sir.
pounding.
Happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully, I'll see you on some more.
Oh yeah, you betcha.
All
Keep
right.
pounding.
To keep pounding. Take care. All right, my man Chance. Let's continue to rock through these comments. Run and defense are still good. Yeah, I agree. I agree. We just need to get some better play calling in there. Sunday's game against the Rams will be tough for sure because of the injuries. For the rest of the season, it's all about learning and growing as a team. Yeah, you guys may be like, Chris, what are you smoking? But I like a Dave Canales team. And I'm not saying that means that I feel like we're going to beat everybody, but I still do not feel like we're just going to get slaughtered and get embarrassed. Like, yeah, it could happen, but I don't go to bet on it. This guy makes adjustments. Canales makes adjustments. He makes mistakes, but he makes adjustments. And he has some good pieces on his team. Has some good running backs in Rico and Chuba. Has a great wide receiver in Tedero. Certainly needs to figure out how to get some of the other guys consistently involved, whether it's Jalen, whether it's Xavier. But we certainly need to work on that number 2 wide receiver to have a threat. I think we're too heavy on Tetaroa, and you just need to be able to run some other combos with your wide receivers to get what you need at times that you need to, and we can't just put it all on Tetaroa, right? So if you need 5 yards, you want to pass, like you want to be able to put that other wide receiver in a position to where he can get it, and it's not always that you're going to have Tetaroa that's running that route to get you that first down that you need. And it looks like a lot of people are saying it's both. To answer your question, the answer is both. Bryce Young is limited as a quarterback, and for Dave Canales, he's an average to below average coach. Now, do you think you're talking specifically with Canales' play calling, because I don't feel like he's a below average coach. I don't feel like he's a below average leader of the team. And overall, I don't feel like he's a below average play caller. I just feel like he's continuing to find his way. Like he'll get it one week, and then he'll not have it the next week, and then he'll make an adjustment right at halftime just to get better. But yeah, we'll continue to see. Appreciate you. I was actually very excited to watch this game, and the defense played great. Bummer the offense did not pull the weight. Absolutely. Offense didn't pull the weight at all. Unfortunately, there's no update on J.C. Horn. That will definitely come tomorrow. Hey, we got our members. I told you, love our members. Love our members. I think the team, except the defense, suffered from stage fright last night. This is a good team. They have to figure out how to be more consistent. I don't think it was stage fright. I don't feel that. I just feel like what we've been talking about a lot tonight is the play calling. Didn't do it enough for me. Bryce Young made some mistakes, but again, I feel like this was really a mutual Dave Canales and Bryce Young, and I don't feel like it was the big lights. I just think it was the game plan. That the game plan wasn't good enough. But appreciate you, Ali. You can't be mad at that one, Chris. They already had 3 turnovers when that fumble happened. You can be mad because you just go to think, okay, this game is going to be what it is. We're not going to be able to keep up with the 49. Oh, no, there's the ball on the floor. Okay, there's... Right? So you get mad at that one just because you feel like how many chances are the Carolina Panthers going to get and not be able to take advantage of it. So, what's up, Tyrone? What's up? Got to make sure I get my members before I get out of here. We can get some more wins. Y'all need to stop panicking. The one and only Ken 88. He's on board with my thoughts here. Gonna get to the members and then get out of here. We're a little weird doing a late night Tuesday show. All right. I don't feel like the 49ers won. I feel like we lost, if that makes sense. I like what we forgot. It's like we forgot what we can do. The defense tried their best to give us a chance. Yeah, I would like to say this. Like, the 49ers actually gave us the illusion that we lost. And they did that by making so many mistakes. But the 49ers, no, we lost that game. The 49ers were in control of that game the entire time, from start to finish, with their time of possession, with their game plan, with having the better offense, with having the better defense, because they were able to make 3 turnovers in the first half and still beat us. So if they had not have made so many mistakes to give us the illusion that we have a chance, it would have been a much bigger rout. But we'll bounce back. Oh, here's a good comment. I want to run right here. Canales is not innocent. He needs to give up play calling. Bryce is the main culprit here. Too inconsistent to be a franchise quarterback. Teams like Philly would run him out of town. Yeah. Canales has been an offensive coach, and having a bottom 5 scoring offense is unsatisfactory. Dave needs to bring in serious competition for Bryce next season. This is how I feel about your comment. Absolutely. All right, so a little bit... that'll take us through the show for tonight. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. No days off this week because with the Monday night game that slams everything into a shorter week. Normally today would be an off day, but we are here today and report on things as we did. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Injury reports will come out, so we'll get some updates on J.C. Horn and other players as well. Thanks everybody so much for tuning in and supporting Charlotte Vibe. I'm Chris Jenkins. Talk to you later.